another episode of Cosmic Conversations. I'm your hostess, Marla Martenson, and I have the tarot lady back with me, Theresa Reed. Hey, Teresa.
Hi, Marla.
Hey, I'm so excited to talk to you again, and especially now that I've discovered that you have a podcast.
Yes, I've been doing my podcast for a little while. I actually have two podcasts. I have one that's specifically for metaphysical people who are in business, but I know which one you're talking about. You're talking about Tarot Bytes, correct?
Tarot Bytes, exactly. But I'm interested in the metaphysical one too because I have an energy healing side business, so they're both gonna be. I'm a podcast junkie, you guys.
Me too.
I listen as I'm in the car, when I'm walking the dog. I'm constantly listening to podcasts, and maybe one day I'll do my own podcast. But for now, I'm sticking to the videos because how much can I do, right? Geminis, we want to do so many things.
We do.
So, okay, so tell us a little bit about your podcast, the Tarot one.
So Tarot Bytes, the podcast that I started a few months ago, the thing behind it is really tarot lessons, and they're mini lessons. I like to say it is a tarot podcast for people who want to learn tarot but don't have all day.
That's
so
neat.
The podcast, yeah, they're really short. They're like, again, bite size, almost like sound bites, little lessons. So, they're just really easy to digest. And I think for people who feel overwhelmed at learning tarot, this is a great place to start.
Well, that's fantastic because that's me. I mean, I did get your amazing coloring book, Tarot, which I love. The Tarot coloring book. Discover the symbols and meaning of each card. Learn simple spreads, decision making, relationship insights, divination. Master the entire deck in an enjoyable and engaging way. And I've been so busy. I haven't gone through the whole thing, but I did color some like I did this, one, and
Nice.
I love it. And I noticed that when you do the coloring book, it kind of sticks in your mind, the meanings, because for me, it is, when I think about learning it's 76 cards.
78 cards.
78 cards. It's like, it's overwhelming, and I have such a interest, but I am so busy, and when I think, how am I going to do it? But if I do a little bit of coloring in here and then listen to your podcast, I think that's going to be great.
Absolutely. Again, I really love getting people introduced to tarot and taking the intimidation out of it, and through the coloring book, but also through this little podcast lessons. They're really designed not to overwhelm.
I love it. Now, I have a question. So, okay, I've got the Rider-Waite deck. Is that the deck you use?
You are using the exact one I use. I have the Radiant Rider-Waite deck, and that's my go-to deck. I mean, there's different versions of the Rider-Waite-Smith deck, but I always like the Radiant one because it's so bright and colorful, and that just speaks to me.
Oh, yeah, it says Radiant. Is that just because it's bright and colorful? I didn't even realize, why does it say Radiant?
Yeah.
But it's Radiant. So
yes.
My question is, so if someone learns the meanings of the Rider-Waite, which is the basic deck, which was around the turn of the century, 20th century, that was
Yep.
made?
Around 1909, I believe, was the first Rider-Waite-Smith deck.
Okay, and that's the main one a lot of people use. So if I learn the meanings, then will it translate over? Because there's so many amazing decks. I have this Angel deck by Doreen Virtue and Radley Valentine, and that is also a 78 card deck. So if I would learn those, would I be able to read these?
My opinion, yes. I think the Rider-Waite-Smith deck is the best starter deck because a lot of the modern tarot decks are based on the imagery of the Rider-Waite-Smith deck. Now, the artists, of course, will have their own interpretations, their own flair, so there's always going to be their own little thing that they put into it. But if you learn the Rider-Waite-Smith deck, it's going to help you to work with the majority of these other decks that are out there.
Yeah, because they have 8 of air, they have the fire, which is like what? It translates earth, it translates to cups and
pentacles, wands, swords.
Yeah, so I guess so I'm excited about that, and I'm taking the Radley Valentine and Doreen Virtue's Angel Tarot reading, the reading course and the intuitive, and then I know on your website you have courses for people, right? Yeah.
all kinds of stuff. I have a free e-course, Rookie to Reader, and a free little manual comes with it that also gives you additional interpretations and lots of fun stuff with rap and all that, because I love hip-hop music.
Oh, wow, you do?
Oh, my God, I'm a fanatic. I love all kinds of music. I'm a music nut. So there's always music playing in this house. But anyhow, I add a little bit of a hip-hop spin in that little manual. And, I have tons and tons of blog posts also that will help you to learn tarot. So my goal, again, is to get all hands on deck and more people acquainted with the tarot cards. And I think these little e-courses and whatnot are a great way to do that.
That's awesome. And would you say that your intuition is most like, you want to learn the cards, but you don't have to learn them so intricately? You can learn the basic meanings and then you're going to be following your intuition, aren't you?
Absolutely. Here's the way I like to say it works. It's really important to learn some of the traditional meanings, especially when you're first starting out, because it's like building a house, okay? And those meanings, the real standard ones, are like the foundation of your house. But then your intuition is the decoration. That's you decorating the house. That's you maybe seeing something or feeling something in the cards that's not necessarily on the traditional path. And, depending on the questions, the person you're sitting across from, what you're feeling is going to be very different for each card. So think of, again, your intuition is it's the decoration. It's what really gives it the pizzazz.
I love it. And then can people reach your podcast through your website? Are there links there?
Absolutely. They can find me. If you go to free resources, you're going to scroll down, and there's going to be podcasts, and you'll get right there to Tarot Bytes. And they can also search me on iTunes. Okay. I'm on iTunes. I'm on Stitcher. So the podcast is loaded up there as well. And it's also loaded up on Podbean.
Oh, Podbean. All right. There's so many platforms now.
Yes.
Awesome. Okay, great. So you guys let me know. Have you heard her podcast? Are you learning tarot? Let me know your experience in the box below. And thanks for watching. And thanks, Teresa.
Thank you, Marla.